Check, check, check. Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me okay? Are we fine? Oh, yeah, we're live. We're live, and we got 55 people in the chat. I don't remember the last time we had this many people in the chat. Because today's April Fool's, and people are thinking, could this still be a joke? You know, I even said, potentially in chapter 199, the first panel is Fujimoto saying, hey guys, it was April Fool's. I wanted to play a cruel joke on all of you. Fami is not Death. And then we just proceed with like Chainsaw Man facing off against Death. But a lot of people are here. We got Fami in the chat. I mean, look, I even knew that the Fami emote was Death all along. You know? Which channel memberships are 99 cents a month, you know, helps the channel grow. We get more emotes. I pay my editors and thumbnails. Thanks to you guys. Holy crap, man. P11. First time watching a stream in months, and I open it to Blue Lock. Bro, Nagi's out of the NEL. That's why we're all here. We need to talk about how Nagi is out of the NEL. He came in 24th place. He's not competing in the U20 World Cup team. Nagi is a bum. Put the fries in the bag, my guy. You know, I remember in season 2, Nagi had that extraordinary goal. And he's like, hello, Japan. Let me welcome you for the first time. My name is Nagi Shishiro. But I don't know, man. I mean, Nagi's going to be putting french fries in people's bags for a while. You know, he's going to say, hey, guys, you know, I scored a goal on Isagi once. Just put the fries in the bag, my guy. You are a bum. Now, even if you guys don't read Blue Lock, why am I showing the Nagi thing for a while? Well, because for those of you who have just missed the streams for a while, I've gotten a copyright strike from Shueisha for showing manga material. I will be showing manga panels later, but for the first 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just going to have something totally irrelevant so Shueisha can get off my dick, and then we can proceed to talk about Chainsaw Man. But you know, let me at least show off the Reze movie trailer thing. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's just use the thumbnail. Let's use the thumbnail. Hopefully you guys read the chapter. I'm going to assume each and every one of you have read the chapter. You can almost say this changes everything. Jesus Christ. I want to know the origin of it. I think it was Zonin. Zonin, if you're watching this, I enjoy the content. We did a collab together. I'm glad I mean, I'm pretty sure it's him. And if it's not him, congratulations to the person who came up with that thumbnail and title for every anime YouTuber in existence. This changes everything. Quite literally, this does change everything. I mean, I can also argue every chapter changes everything too, but this especially changes everything. So let's go ahead and let me see if I got my water. Let me get my water bottle. Okay. I got my water bottle. It's getting a little warm in here. Let me turn on the fan, and I will be right back, and I will read the comments. All right. We are back. Let me see. Who's all in the chat? Let me see who we got here. We got Texas Toast. We got Greg Berg. We got Sketch. We got Johnny. We got Internet Bum. Yes King. Cordell Porter. Shunsui. Spooter. The Real Akano. Glacial. How you guys doing? Skyrax Plates is here. Bison is here. Ride is here. Crabbear's here. What happened to Nagi? Bro. Bro, if I spoiled it for you, then I'm sorry. But maybe you should look at those Blue Lock 298 chapter leaks right now. Crumb, I was shocked when we got the reveal. Yes, that Nagi is out of the NEL. This does change everything. Speaking of Resident movie, DJ Miles, international release October 29th. Yes, and that is what I did say towards the end of my review. Let me go ahead and just pop up this little trailer thing. You know, I'm excited about this because I think they said for Japan it was going to drop in like September 12th or something like that. So I'm glad we have an international release. I didn't know if this October 29th meant only for America or certain other regions, but I'm glad everyone can see this simultaneously. The people in Europe, the people in Australia, America, Canada, all that good stuff. So the Resident movie is coming out October 29th. Man, I am truly, truly excited. And with Fami being death all along, I can't help but wonder, speaking of Reze, will we see Reze? Could we see some type of thing that, it's not even far-fetched to say that powerful devils will greet death on the day of the prophecy. We know the Blood Devil is going to be one of them. We know Control is going to be one of them. And Fire is going to be another one, right? So that's 3 confirmed right there. Now, it wasn't outright said those 3 are going to be there, but, Yoru did confirm to Denji, look, I mean, if anyone was going to greet death, yeah, Blood, Fire, and what was the third one I just said? Blood, Fire. I'm already blanking out. But this is all to say the 4th potential one could be Bomb, right? So we'll see how that ends up panning out. But I mean, this little poster trailer right here for the Chainsaw Man movie looks absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait for it. Reze arc, it's so crazy. I want to say it's like my favorite arc, but I think I'd be lying if I didn't say the International Assassins was a little bit better, just because of like all the chaos that happens, and then of course meeting the introduction of the Falling Devil, which can bring us back to pivot and discuss Chef Mami. Chef Mami's back, and Fujimoto knows I'm down bad for Chef Mami because, well, I mean, Falling Devil is a bit of a baddie. I mean, come on, man. There's no need to make her thick. There was no need to make her bum look the way it did in today's chapter. So let me find a good picture of Fami of Falling. All right, I got one right here. Let's go ahead and show this off. We got Chef Mami right there. We will talk about Mami in a second because the Falling Devil arc, I feel like we just need to reread the Falling Devil arc. Because now there's just so many things that's probably going to put 2 and 2 together. Let me see. International Assassins was peak in terms of chaos. I just read the chapter. It's so good. Robin is here. What's good? Monez caught in 4K. LOL. Everyone loves Falling. Dude, I mean, I said it in the review. There's just something so great about all the primal fears. Let me see if I got my video pulled up here. I will pull that up. Here we go. I mean, guys, just look at these designs. I mean, these are just some of the most unique designs, not only in the verse of Chainsaw Man, but really in just kind of like the world building of stuff, right? Like, these really are a little out of this world, right? Horrible apples and oranges comparison. But it's like, oh, you know what a Super Saiyan is. All Super Saiyans look the same. You can't really say that with Primal Fears, right? That was a horrible comparison. But I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say. Just conceptually, what a Primal Fear can be, they're going to all look radically different, right? So it's really cool. And I even still, as much as I love seeing Falling Devil, I am okay with them having their, adjusted screen time in the narrative and then getting out. Because, when the Aging Devil had his time to shine, and, we had to see how Yoru and Denji was going to escape aging. There's a lot of cool things going on with that. And I don't know how we still feel about Fire Devil being considered a primal fear or not, but for us to not for us to go from aging back to falling, I think it's pretty fantastic. I didn't mention it in the review, but Fami. I'm gonna mess up these names. Death revealed that the falling devil wasn't as strong as it was because when I bring it, I don't know, like what was it? It's like she consumes her stamina, or they're like they're at a fraction of their own strength. So we'll look at that maybe like in another 5 minutes. We're gonna wait and see if Shueisha can get off my dick and not give me a copyright strike when we look this up. But I wonder if this will actually be one of the weaknesses of the Death Devil, right? Like the devils that it resurrect, like Gilly, like Falling, because she can't resurrect them at 100% of their own strength. Maybe there's some pocket of weakness somehow that we can exploit, or our protagonist to exploit against Death, right? So Fami in the chat says, hi, I have to change my username. That you do. It makes sense now why aging would want to be eaten now. Okay. Golden Freddy's here says, chicken. I can imagine the final arc, just like Makima used the hybrids, uses the primal fear, and things keep crazy. Oh, I really like this. 134 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Same with Gilly. She didn't have the strength. Could Kishibe be secretly tracking down Fami like he did Makima? No cope. I mean, I don't know. See, because this is what makes it complicated. No cope. Okay, let's pretend there's no cope. Yoshida has been talking with fake Fami this entire time. So Yoshida works for public safety, and I feel like it's really, really important for us to reread this because now I don't know because it's been so long. Someone quote me on this or fact check this. Yoshida said he worked for some organization. If he worked for public safety, he should just outright say, I work for public safety. But he also said he works for public safety and some organization. So no matter how you twist it, he's still in talks with public safety. He should be talking with some of the higher ups. And Kishibe, even if Kishibe didn't know that Fami was Death, Kishibe should know that Fami is a horseman of the apocalypse, has ties with Makima, and therefore, if public safety put even this theory crafting analysis that the Nostradamus prophecy could potentially be a thing on July 12th, 1999, then Kishibe should be keeping a close eye on everyone. So why Kishibe has been omitted from this story, I don't know. But I feel like after this reveal, and honestly onwards, Chainsaw Man Part 2, a reread is an absolute must. And more importantly, if this is the beginning of even the craziest of plot twists, then come on, give us Kishibe. You know, I still stand firm that I think Reze should appear. I still think it would be a little odd if she doesn't appear. But I think if you told me to pick one, Kishibe or Reze, I think I'm going to say I think Kishibe not being in the story is more jarring than Reze not appearing. You know? So, Lord Loud Media says crazy chapter. Jared Gray says octopus are masters of disguise. True. Yoshida stonks have crashed, bro. Is not smart. Pain should be a primal fear. I agree. Could the Chainsaw Man movie worldwide release be an April Fool? No, because Tuesday is a good, like, Tuesday through Thursdays are just like good announcement days for a lot of things. Let's disregard today is April 1st, right? You know, Mondays is the beginning of a work week. Some things are always announced, but you'll always realize within media, especially stuff like, you know, video games and, you know, fiction, right? Or, you know, just other stuff that Tuesdays through Thursdays is just a good announcement day for stuff. Mondays, it's kind of whatever. And Friday, people are getting ready for the weekend. So, no, I do not think the announcement of Chainsaw Man Reze is April Fool's. Lord Exo Hunter, Miles, next time the bi-weekly Devil Strikes, could you do a stream going back through part 2 to see all of the hints of not Fami being the Death Devil? I think that would be a lot of fun, but I think because I would have to show all the panels, it's just going to lead to a copyright strike. So, you know, I don't want to say no. I think I would just have to do that stream in advance, right? Like grab all the panels and then kind of quickly show them off one by one, right? Or, you know, do something like this where, you know, we're just showing Fami for a while and then I'll quickly talk about like one panel after the other and go from there. Why the Yoshida hate? I mean, well, I think Yoshida is a bum. I think Yoshida is a bum like your boy Nagi. I don't really care about Yoshida. Here's the thing. Yoshida can be like this mysterious person. We don't know a lot. And he's like quirky and like, but there's always something we need. Like we haven't learned about him. And it's like, bro, we are what, almost 99 chapters or 100 chapters into part 2. And we still don't know anything about Yoshida. So when you tell me the only quirky thing about him is that like, oh, he's a little off, but he's a man of mystery. It's like, I don't care anymore because we're 100 chapters in. We're in the final stages. And I think Fujimoto, I don't want to say he's done a poor job with Yoshida, but I just don't give a shit about his character anymore. Like at this point, like I don't care what reveal Yoshida can have. How crazy is this? Hot take. I'm more interested in knowing how fucking, what's her name with the midriff? Who's baby girl with the midriff in public safety? Fumiko. I'm more curious to know about how Fumiko had that body double in the Aging Devil arc. That is more intriguing to me and explains more on how this could even tie closely with this final endgame than like knowing the backstory of Yoshida. Like if Yoshida died, I don't give a shit. As a matter of fact, I even said this in my review too. During the Aging Devil arc, I thought Yoshida was going to die. And if he would have died, good. But he didn't. So I guess they're saving Yoshida for something. He's a bum. I don't give a shit about him. Next question. Lucen says, but like, where was the real Fami all this time and what was she doing? Good question. I feel like this could be explained in the upcoming chapters. We don't know, right? Hell, maybe Fami, the real Fami, was with Kishibe somewhere giving intel to public safety about death, you know, hiding in school all along. The Yoshida slander is generational. Bro, Yoshida is a bum, dude. And I really hope you read Blue Lock because do not watch the first 30 seconds of my review, Turtle Cork. Maybe Chainsaw Man is the pregnant devil. Oh, Lloyd, you can do it on Twitch. That's right. We could do it on Twitch. We can talk about... Okay, that's actually not a bad idea. Guys, we could do that next week. Next week, we can actually hop on Twitch and go through the entire part of Chainsaw Man Part 2 with the reveal of death and kind of like all the back scheming and, you know, manipulation she was doing behind closed doors. And how cool is this? Now the Chainsaw Man Church arc, which was mostly good and in the end it fell a bit flat, I like now knowing that Death was running this Chainsaw Man Church arc. I mean, it really even fits nice with the motifs of like religion and, you know, just like being, you know, this cult-like club that Death was running with Barum second in command. How crazy is that? So, you know, we have these devils that kind of have these things adjacent to one another, right? The Fire Devil. Right, think of the Fire Devil as a concept, and then adjacent to the Fire Devil is the Flamethrower hybrid. We know the Fire Devil is working with Death, and Barum, second in command, was also working with Death. And he was obsessed with Makima. So, lots of cool little things. Like, see, now that I say that out loud, it really makes us diving back into part 2 something we should check out. Let me see how long we've been talking here. Okay, 19 minutes. I think this is a good time for us to quickly check out Viz and go through the Falling Devil arc. So let's go ahead and go through the Falling Devil arc because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff now we can check out. Falling Devil arc, someone quote me, I think it's chapter like 128. 128? No, I think maybe starts at 123. Ooh, yes. Okay. And we should probably start with the conversation that Yoshida had with Fami. So maybe chapter 122. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. All right. So we're going to quickly read through this because, again, I don't want to get a strike from Shueisha. Fami is, ordering lots of food. Burning a hole through Yoshida's wallet. Yoshida says, should I call you Famine? Okay, call me Fami. Fami, I've heard the rumors that devils are bad with names, but an alias that low effort, are you even trying to hide? I don't care if my identity's exposed. What do you want? So, I don't think Yoshida knew right here that Fami was Death. But I think this is just such a nice thing now knowing who this person was all along, that Fujimoto is just fucking with us right here. I've heard the rumor that devils are bad with names, but an alias that low effort, are you even trying to hide? And why were we deceived with Fami being the famine devil? Well, she has those hearings, and a lot of people thought, myself included, that those hearings are kind of like the scales, right? That the famine horseman of the apocalypse has, right? Horseman of the, I can't spell apocalypse, so bro, don't judge me. Apocalypse. Don't judge your boys, okay? Right? So let me go ahead and just get a good picture of that. Right? Fami had those little hoop earrings that look like scales. This is war. Death is right over here. And this is conquest, or control. So there's that. And then he talks to Death about the Nostradamus prophecy. On the 7th month of 1999, so July 1999, a great king of terror will descend. It's getting attention for predicting the end of society, or for the end of humanity. The future devil predicted that 23 out of 30 will lose their lives in July 1999. I know you're up to something. Public safety believes it's connected to the Nostradamus prophecy. I came here to talk. If you refuse, I might have to start giving you the devil treatment. Bro, I love, after all that slander I said about Yoshida, this was when Yoshida was still cool to me, and he had that standoff with Fami, like in post the aquarium arc, the dating Denji arc. And they're kind of like mean mugging. And look at Yoshida telling Death, I'm going to start giving you the devil treatment. Boy, little did he know. So then Death says the other 7 will die this week. 40 seconds ago, the first of the devils who will shepherd the world of the terror. She is a name with the name of a primal fear. Her name is, and then we go to Death, yada yada yada. And then this is the introduction of Falling Devil arc. God, there is a lot of nudity in these pages. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, and then this is more of the backstory of Asa. I think we can kind of skim through this now just for the sake of the stream, and let's actually go towards the Justice Devil. Okay. So, Death, this is the thing we got to think about. The Falling Devil was working for Death. And the Falling Devil, who works for Death, is trying to feed the real Justice Devil. But we also know that the Fire Devil, masquerading as the Justice Devil, is the one who manipulated these kids to turn into these pseudo chainsaw men. And we have the fake chainsaw man who, as of right now anyway, I'm going to believe made a contract not with Justice, but with the Fire Devil. So why would the Fire Devil masquerade as the Justice Devil to get this person, whoever is the fake chainsaw man, to do this? And the fake chainsaw man who made a contract with the Fire Devil is opposing Fami, who he thought was Death, right? So there's a lot of interesting things here because Death is the mastermind behind all of this. But we see Death like, hey, the Falling Devil is going to give me some food, So let's go ahead. let me see here. So this is Chainsaw Man starts battling with falling. The end game stuff is where we're going to get some interesting tidbits. But I want to see that part where the fake Chainsaw Man comes. I think it's chapter 128. Is it 128? Let me see. Here we go. So, Falling Devil is going to give Asa / Yoru to the Justice Devil to consume, because once it's consumed, she can control them, which is pretty wild, right? Here we go. Fake Chainsaw Man comes back. Bro, look at this. Dude, even the Falling Devil is caked up right here. Good lord, what the hell? They'll desperately try to devour Asamitaka, least they be killed by the Falling Devil. Okay, this is when the Fake Chainsaw Man. Yeah. The Falling Devil has no tolerance for diners who leave their food unfinished. Please evade them until sunrise, Chainsaw Man. See, like, this is what I'm saying. Did the fake Chainsaw Man not know that this blob was the real Justice Devil? I don't think so, right? Like, he just probably thinks the Justice Devil was, the Falling Devil, whoever that was. And when we go off of what fake Chainsaw Man is saying to Fami in the beginning of the chapter, like, bro, he's really on the side of the good guys. As of right now, anyway. So let's go ahead and just go towards the climax of this. I will get back to the chat, guys. Let me just go ahead and go here. So, Falling Devil apologizes for failing to Death. I sincerely apologize. I failed to feed Asamitaka to the diner. Okay, return. Falling Devil bows her head to Death. Gets turned into this little figurine. And then now Death is talking to Nayuta, and this is the first time they're talking, right? Control. I control da-da-da-da-da. Okay, why are you after Denji and this girl, sis? Nostradamus' prophecies coming true. The ultimate terror will soon descend on this world. Okay, so is is Death also lying to Asa right here? The ultimate terror will soon descend on this world. Is she just acting like, is this a ruse right here? Or is the ultimate terror Yoru, right? Yoru's going to have like this eternal war on Earth that's worse than hell. That's what Asa was saying a few chapters ago, and we'll go back to those like 5 chapters ago to get that confirmation. The ultimate terror will soon descend on this world. What is this prophesizing? The war that Yoru's having, the eternal war, or something else? Kind of crazy to think about. If that happens, the age of humans will end. So I think, and this is something that Yoru told Denji. The age of humans will end. This is worse than hell. So I think this is definitely Death trying to say, like, bro, the ultimate terror, not me. It's fucking Yoru getting stronger. But I just don't understand why Death would even help Yoru escape to team up with Yoru to get Denji out of the prison. She's been acting the whole time. That's what Michael is saying here. If the age of devils come, things like pizza and Chinese food will cease to exist. I know, worst case scenario, at this rate, nor you nor Chainsaw Man will be able to stop the prophecy. But War Devil could be made to win, possibly. What gives? You just tried to kill her. My intention was only to starve War in that devil's belly. I can turn starved into my pawns. Work with me, Control. With our strength combined, the age of devils may not arrive. So very, very interesting stuff here. And then she's like, no, I can't because I have school, yada, yada, yada. So let's go to the Prison Break arc. Can someone tell me what chapter the Prison Break arc started? Was it 160? I'm jumping around. Okay. Yeah. So let's go, I think maybe 157 or 58. So we can learn about, so we can learn more about Death's powers. And how crazy, right? Falling. So Death has summoned Falling and Gilly. And someone was saying, like, this is why, like, Death always has her head, like, tilted, right? It's like a rope is being hung up. So that's why she appears the way she does, right? Like, look at that. I even like that, like, little nod right there, too. Her head is tilted as if she was being hung. Death, right? Little sneaky Easter egg right there. So now let's learn how Death's power actually works here. Let me see. So we can go through this. Let me see. Okay. So next chapter, 158, we learn about how Death's power actually works. Thank you guys for joining us here in the chat, in the stream. Here we go. I mean, look at Gilly. All husk. Well, I mean, you still got the bones, but Gilly is not listening to Death, which is kind of wild, because why would you disobey Death, right? Okay, so here we go. Death says here, the devils I summon with my power are weak. They can't use their full strength. Plus, it has restrictions. I try not to use it much. What restrictions? That's a secret. So I wonder if there's something we can even formulate with that, right? Because we now know that Falling Devil wasn't at full strength. Gilly is not at full strength. She can summon them with her powers, but there are restrictions. What are the restrictions? You know, that is the weakness with Death right here. She also mentioned she had a trump card. Well said. Let me see. Does she say anything else here? No. So, and I don't think there's anything else with Gilly escaping. See, it's just so funny. It's like, bro, but look at Death getting knocked out. Dude, I remember all of us thinking how much... It was like the Fujimoto thing that Fujimoto does in his stories, right? Like, no matter who the character is, no matter how badass they are, they always look a little stupid from time to time. And Fami, not Fami, was the punching bag in this prison facility, right? Yoru is kicking Fami right here. Katana Man breaks out. There's Death right here. And then look at this. The Nail Fiend, of all people. Oh, no. The Nail Fiend was about to hit Death. The War Devil hits Death right away. She's bleeding. It's just so crazy looking at this stuff now, when we know, like, the truth. I want to see if there's anything good that we should understand here. I don't think so. The fake chainsaw man church, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Anyway. Now let's go back, and I think it was, what, maybe chapter 194, when Asa was talking to Denji. Yeah, I think it was the following chapter. But what an interesting conversation, even looking back at 194. Yosha, again, talking to Death. 1 month from now, or Fami. That's why I did the quotes. Forgive me. 1 month from now, the Death Devil will descend. In the meantime, we need your help with some things. Some things are ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. Public safety is understaffed. Where the fuck is Kishibe? Okay. Our school's having a festival to pray for Tokyo's revival on that same day, and I got chosen to be on the planning committee. I have friends on the committee, and it seemed like fun. I like to savor, enjoy food, people, and experiences. Again, is this all a lie right here? Yeah, I think this is a lie right here. Maybe there's some truths. But I hung out with Denji, Asa, and Yoru because their puzzled looks were fun. But being around you guys is not fun, etc. To me, I just think the biggest question is that if Death is trying to stop the prophecy, why has she been kind of in the sidelines watching Yoru get stronger? Because I think, and again, I'm not saying this is going to make the story better. This is just us talking out loud. Because I think seeing Death try to starve Asa slash Yoru and potentially Denji via the Justice Devil to be turned into pawns, that would have been one thing, and that could have been continued over the course of the arc. But in the Chainsaw Man Church arc, fighting for the possession of Denji seemed to be like the main goal, right? Public safety wanted Denji. The Chainsaw Man Church also wanted Denji, which we now know that Fami was running with Barham as the second in command. And then the Aging Devil interfered and, did what it did with Denji and Asa slash Yoru. And Death was chilling in the sidelines. And this is also very funny too. This is why this girl was able to pick up Death so effortlessly, because she has no organs and none of that stuff. All right, so now let's go ahead. Okay, so now Asa is talking to Denji about Yoru's plans, right? Yoru's planning something even worse than humanity's extinction, right? We go back to the Falling Devil arc, which we just showed. Death is saying, like, the age of humanity, or like something bad is going to happen, right? If you don't kill her now, it would be disastrous. Yeah, and that's basically all we get. So, Yoru's planning some scheming thing, and Death is going to school, right? Like, not stopping Yoru. It's just very interesting right now. So, that's what I'm saying. In part 1, we got all of these things about Makima being this mysterious character, and then with the reveal 80-something chapters later that, like, hey, she's the main bad guy all along. But it seems like now Fujimoto has raised two interesting things. One, that Yoru seems to be now pivoting as the main, antagonist that we have to beat. But with the reveal that Fami was Death all along, and she'd been manipulating and orchestrating many of these things, she's also trying to stop war. And Yoru says, if you don't defeat the Death Devil, I will turn you into a weapon, etc. With now the person coming in to the side of all this is Fami, the real Fami. I just think it's funny that, like, Fami, like, now what is Fami's role in all this? Because she's telling Death, like, hey, you have to die for all of our sake. Right? Like, Fami is just as crazy as Makima and the other horsemen. But it seems like she's the most innocent in this as well. Like, look, I'm only here to stop Death, or to, salvage and wipe out most of humanity, because if I don't kill you guys, something worse is going to happen. So who's the final villain of this story? Let's go ahead and raise a little poll here. So anyway, let me go ahead and re-chat for a while. I've been yapping for a while. Sketch says here, would you say it's Asa and Yoru's fault that Denji's life is the way that it is currently? I mean, a little bit, but I think, again, he just unfortunately the byproduct of, like, this devil, Pochita, that everyone wants to consume. So even if it wasn't Asa and Yoru, I mean, public safety and Death was still kind of eyeing on Denji, If there's no villain, everybody just needs a hug. I feel like this is leading to an impasse. The pacing is slow but fast. Wouldn't Pochita know Fami is the Death Devil? Why didn't he tell Denji? Okay, there's this one panel. I forgot to talk about it on the stream. Let me see if I can find it. I pulled it up on my Discord server. Actually, I'm just going to pull it up on the Discord server. I have... Oh, you know what? Let me send the link so we can add you guys, because we've been talking about Chainsaw Man this entire time with this fantastic chapter. How the hell do I add a link here? Notifications. Oh, invite people. So, all right. Discord link. Control is still the villain. What if Fami's coming back because starvation is becoming more common again due to the world's events? That's interesting because I think, you know, because a lot of these horseman powers are so nuanced, you can even say the starvation of people, right? Like the starvation of what's happening with the current events of the story could also just boost Fami up to like new strengths. But how would that still tie to the final events? I mean, I don't know. Death looks way smarter than Yoru, and Yoru seems emotional, and she kind of have feelings for Denji, so I don't think she will turn completely to a villain. On the other end, Death seems emotionless. So there's a possibility that Nayuta is alive. Yes, I didn't answer this. I'm going to answer the comments on my video today or tomorrow, but why is Nayuta in the conversation? Well, first, I pulled this up from the volume 20 like cover thing, right? Where is it? Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. This was shown off in the volume 20 cover. They asked about Nayuta. Can you guys see it okay? Let me see. The Control Devil. She was living with Denji, but was ultimately killed due to a plot by the Chainsaw Man Church. This poor girl died during that massacre. Like, I think now, like, this is stated. So, and the last time we saw Nayuta, her head was served on a platter at the sushi restaurant, and Denji lost his shit. Now, why could Nayuta come back? Well, because when we saw Death's introduction way back in the beginning, when Yuko was fighting off against Asa/Yoru, and someone remind me what chapter that is. I'm going to say maybe it's chapter 111. I don't know. Okay, nope. That's when she just got murked. Maybe 107. We get the introduction of Death. 108. Let me see. Okay, Death got mangled into pieces. Here is the introduction of Death. Chapter 108. Do you want to save her? I can save her. Do you want to? Yes. Anything for my little sister. Death can resurrect people. I don't know why. You know, because it also made sense that Fami's abilities, the fake Fami, had these powers, you know, starving people, etc. And that kind of like was a thing. So for Death to revive people when she's all about like making them dead, you know, and then, you know, us assuming that who Fami actually was, we see her crushing the ants and we see her, like absorbing the life force. Yes, now I can see that absorbing and, you know, these things dying for her sake. Yeah, there's some correlation between that and like hunger, right? I am starving your life force. I am absorbing your life force. Whatever. I'm the falling devil. I'm the famine devil. I don't see the correlation of like death and resurrection, right? Because those seem to be complete opposites. But look, Death resurrected Yuko, and we know in the Age of Devils, or the day that this prophecy comes, you know, Death is going to be greeted by these high-ranking officials with a strong implication that Control is going to be there. We don't know what Control. It could be Makima. I don't think it's going to be Makima. It could be Nayuta. This makes the most sense. Or what makes even more sense is we get a brand new Control Devil. But I think at this point, because we're so far into the end game, having like a brand new Control Devil, when we haven't had enough with Nayuta, even if her story was done narratively, you know, I think for the audience, I think it would just be like, okay, let's give us someone familiar here, right? So, I don't know. I'm not explaining that in the best ways, but this is still all to say, if Death resurrected Yuko, Death could resurrect Nayuta. Nayuta has to be, or not Nayuta, but the Control Devil has to be a part of this final battle, right? So, we got a $5 donation here from Manuel. It says, final boss, Kobeni, my dad worked for Tatsuki Fujimoto. Trust me, bro. Source, trust me, bro. I like that. What about power? I don't know if we're going to see power again, but we will see the reborn again Blood Devil. That was the thing that, Denji and Asa talked about, or Denji and Yoru talked about. Do you think Kobeni and Kishibe will be brought back, or is it too late? I don't know about Kobeni. I think Kobeni's a beloved fan character. To me, I'm kind of whatever about her. I think Kishibe should come back because it just makes more sense because of the role he was in, right? Like, Kobeni said she's done with public safety. She's done with this lifestyle. So Nobana is our new Kobeni, for better and for worse. But I don't know. I mean, if both are brought back, I'm okay with it, But I think a lot of us are more, well, I shouldn't speak for everyone, but you know what I'm saying. I think narratively, like, Kishibe's return, like, he needs to kind of come back, right? Like, I think a lot of people will say if he doesn't come back, it's a little jarring considering the position and status that he had within public safety. That's it. I hope Kobeni's out there working at a cafe or eating delicious desserts. She deserves it. Me too. That poor girl had a tough life. Any chance we could use Death powers to bring back Aki? I feel like Death is totally conniving and would totally do that to, one, pull on Denji's heartstrings, and for Fujimoto to pull on our heartstrings. Right? Like, resurrect Aki, right? Like, the Falling Devil tapped into Denji's psyche. So it wouldn't be too improbable for me for Death to be like, hey, what did you see within, like, Denji's mind? Oh, these two people, Power and Aki. He's like, well, I mean, Power is basically like this new subservient blood devil. That's on my side for now. Let's resurrect Aki somehow as the gun fiend or something like that, right? That'd be pretty wild, but that cow says there's just SM left out, so I doubt Death is the end. And let's go ahead and end this poll real quickly. So everyone still thinks, well, I don't want to say everyone. Who do people think is the final boss? 41% War, 36% Death, 21% someone else. Wow. These are all pretty, I mean, they're close. I don't know. I mean, I want to say War is the final boss. But I don't know what Death is trying to do here now. Now I'm so confused. I think all of us are confused. Texas Toast. What if contracts don't go away when a horseman dies and gets reincarnated, so maybe Nayuta is out there alive? Maybe, right? Like, maybe. But I think just seeing Nayuta's head on a platter and now knowing that Death can resurrect people, I think that's how we get the confirmation that Nayuta is alive. And again, she's dead. She's dead. The volume cover says she's dead. She's dead. But she's also a horseman of the apocalypse. And now that we know Fami was Death all along, I think Death needs control. I mean, she even said it at the end of the Falling Devil arc. Death, work with me. Work with me to stop this age of extinction with humanity, Walter White says, sorry I'm late, DJ Miles. D says, hi, Miles. Sorry I'm late again. It's okay. You guys don't have to apologize. Sanitary Sanchez says, do devils have an exit clause for their contract? Like, can Kobeni just say she won't use any more devil powers and chill? I don't know if it's a good idea for them to say it, but let's say, Aki made a contract with the Cursed Devil. And we only saw Aki use it once, but, he gave up half of his life to use the Cursed Devil's ability to, seemingly defeat Katana Man, right? Obviously, it didn't work, and he shaved off a lot of years in his life, but he used it as an emergency, right? And considering Curse is okay, I'm going to get half your lifespan when you make this deal, right? Because my powers are they require a hefty fee. But there could be a situation, hypothetically speaking, if Aki never used that power, and then at that point, well, Curse didn't get anything out of Aki, but the contract was made regardless. So I think that's kind of like the weird loophole within contracts if it's made like that. Is this an April Fool's joke about Death? Nope, I don't think so. Because that's what I thought. What if devils used to be good somehow? Denji's dead too. What do you think happened with the organs of the Death Devil, and if another devil could consume them to become stronger like how Santa Claus did? I don't know. You know what would be even wild, talking about like the organs and stuff? You know, when we see Pochita turn into Black Chainsaw Man, what if some of those organs came from Death herself? And that's why whenever Pochita consumes, it erases the devil from existence. Who knows, right? I don't know. That's an interesting thing to think about. I don't know if that's necessarily somewhere Fujimoto is going to pivot, right? Like, is that, now that we know that Fami's death, is that the thing you want to know? Like, how did she lose all her organs? I just think all the horsemen are batshit crazy, and we just have to take Death's words quite literally here, and she just did this so she couldn't die. I disposed of all my organs, but I couldn't die. Like, sorry. Because, like, she's a horseman, right? Like, she's just OP, right? So, but, I mean, God, for Fujimoto to reveal it like this with the panty shot, God, I swear I'm going to get demonetized. Are we getting the bi-weekly devil? Because after today, I'm going to need to reread the whole part 2. As of right now, someone fact-check me. I don't think we're getting a bi-week next week. It says here anyway off the Viz app, we're getting a new chapter in 7 days. So I'm glad we don't have to sit on this reveal, on this crazy twist for 2 weeks. As of right now, chapter 199 drops in 7 days. If someone wants to confirm on Manga Plus, that would be fantastic. What if the reason Primal Fears can't die is because they ate the Death's organ? That would be pretty interesting. But then we also have to ask ourselves, how many Primal Fears are there? Right? I mean, is Death just giving a little piece of its organs to like every Primal Fear that exists? I don't know. And more so, why would you have the aging devil not wanting to exist anymore? Is it because it probably knows that the age of extinction with humanity could become a thing and it didn't want to be a part of it? But why would that even bother aging if aging lives in like some alternate dimension, right? Like aging can just chill in its own domain expansion forever, or just, you know, just somewhere else, right? Manga Plus says next week. Thank you, Robin. The organs is part of Chainsaw Man. See, I mean, we can sit on that. We just said that, right? Like I just said that, like, maybe Death lost all of her organs in this weird confrontation with Pochita, right? We know Pochita faced off against the hybrids and the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And it ended in a stalemate, but honestly, Pochita just escaped from that battle, right? But what if Pochita consumed the nuclear war devil, consumed some of the organs of Death, and some other things, right? Lord Agent says, have you read my message about Death and Denji? I don't know. What's the message? Jared says, we don't need the bi-weekly devil now that April Fool's has synced up with the series. Is this confirmed to be the finale? Wouldn't be the Blood Devil reuniting with Denji be too cramped if it's the final arc? I don't think so, because I think the final arc, right? This is going to be another horrible example. This could be like the final saga that One Piece is in, right? Like One Piece, without spoilers, we are in the final saga. And how many arcs are within that? Now, Chainsaw Man is certainly not One Piece, and it's not going to be as dense, but considering the Chainsaw Man Church arc was like 30 plus chapters, I mean, this final arc could be anywhere in that same ballpark of like 30 to 35, maybe even 40 chapters. And we could get like a good 5 to 6 chapters of that whole interaction of this new Blood Devil and Denji trying to convert the Blood Devil back into power. And I don't know, man. See, like, this is something that, are we going to get power back? If it doesn't happen, I don't care. But I like the callback that Power said to Denji in part 1, right? Find the new Blood Devil. And then she said, like, convince it to do some shit and make it turn back into me. Oh, my God. I'm going to goof this up. Let me see. Power contract with Denji. Here we go. Okay. Find them, make friends with them somehow, and turn the Blood Devil back into power again. Then I can be your buddy again, can I? Denji, this is the contract. I'll give you my blood in exchange. You know, do what you got to do. So, and then, oh, here's the first part, right? When devils die in this world, they're reborn in hell. I won't be me anymore, though. So if we meet again, it'll probably be as enemies. Denji, go find the Blood Devil. Find them, make friends with them somehow, and turn the Blood Devil back into power again. Then I can be your buddy. So, again, the setup is there. The setup is there. If Fujimoto chooses to give us this, right, which I think it'd be, you know, huge fan service. A lot of people would celebrate. I mean, what would make this final arc in Chainsaw Man be one of the most talked about within part 2, especially, but within the entire series? Knowing that we got power back, I think that would be a big talking point. Fami was death. We got power back into the story on the side of the good people, right? So, yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance that power could come back again. Let me see. If Death is against Yoru, why did Death make Denji and Yoru stronger when all the Chainsaw people started running amok? Very good question. This is what I was trying to say, and I'm pretty sure this is what I said in the review, Lucent, right? Why would Death talk to Nayuta at the end of the Falling Devil arc and say the age of extinction is coming? You know, this prophecy is around the corner. Control, I need your help. And Death was in the sidelines watching Yoru and Chainsaw Man duke it out. The aging devil interfered. Like, see, now that makes me think, what the fuck was Death doing the moment Denji lost his shit in the sushi restaurant? What the fuck was Death doing? Right? Like, maybe Death is thinking, okay, I'm gonna, like, they'll both duke it out, they'll get weak, and then I can control them. That could be a possibility, for sure. But considering the Chainsaw Man Church arc, the thing that Death was in charge of the Chainsaw Man Church arc. And the Fire Devil works for Death. And the contracts that the Fire Devil did with these 300,000 people made Chainsaw and War stronger. So why was Death letting War and Chainsaw get stronger this entire time? Good fucking question. I don't know. Alex says, just got here. Do you think Yoru and Fami are in cahoots? When they were busting into the prison, Yoru asked Fami if she can use that power, which Fami never answered and was never elaborated on. See, a lot of people are saying that. Like, are a lot of people saying, did Yoru know? And where's the panel I had earlier? Oh, I didn't show it off to you guys. The only interaction we have of Yoru knowing who Fami was is a bit dodgy. Let me see if this is the panel. No, that's not it. Give me a sec, guys. This one, no. Maybe it was a downloaded. Okay, here we go. I don't know what chapter this is from. Someone find this for me, because I forgot to include this in the review today. But Fami says, when talking about Famine, right, that was Famine Devil. I hadn't seen her in a long time that I didn't recognize her. For whatever reason, the Horsemen can't even, like, know who their siblings are. I hadn't seen her in so long that I didn't recognize her. Oh, I think this was post the Aquarium dating Denji arc, right? This is the only basis we have of Yoru saying that was Famine Devil. I hadn't seen her in so long that I didn't recognize her. So, I mean, this is just a good guess into also saying, well, if he was confusing, right? Like, it's very easy to assume that, like, okay, I haven't seen my sisters in a while. I confuse Famine with Death and vice versa, you know? I agree with Clifford. That's what I'm thinking. What did Clifford say? Clifford says, maybe because Death want to die and she needs War and Denji to be stronger. Very excellent point. That could very well be a thing. Fami wants to save the world. Death wants to die. Okay? It's proper fit for Death to want what she can't have. Yeah, because they're all, like, all these horsemen are kind of, like, demented in their own way, right? Like, Makima wanted love and lots of hugs all along, but she went about it in the wrong way. All these horsemen are trying to do good things in the most weird and demented way, right? Fami wants to save humanity by how? By, like, killing all of them, right? That's how you will be saved from what's about to come, right? She has good intentions, but she's going about it in the wrong way, right? So, yeah. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about the chapter. We've been yapping for an hour. I can't believe we've been yapping for an hour. We got 200 people in the chat. Kind of crazy. Thank you guys. Oh, you know what? Let me just shameless plug. Oh, there's a 4 horsemen. Guys, I have a merch store, and we have Chainsaw Man versus War desk mats. If you use the discount code Fumiko, you will get 48% off. So, use Fumiko for 48% off at checkout. And this is also good, this discount code, with the Dandadan playmat I have as well. So, we have a Dandadan one as well. If you use Fumiko, you can get 48% off. Anyway, now let's go back and actually discuss the chapter. So we see the Chainsaw Man, the fake Chainsaw Man, talking to Fami, and Fami says, "Hey, I'll give you 2,000 yen." And I like, again, the personality of the fake Chainsaw Man. You know, because he calls Fami out. Like, I don't care, you know, like, your so-called salvation means slaughtering of all mankind. It means eliminating human suffering and anger through death, right? Like, dude, it's so spot on how the fake Chainsaw Man is basically reading this horseman. The Justice Devil and I see right through you. Now, again, this is just, there's so many more questions raised now that we know Fami is death. Because why would the Justice Devil, or why would the Fire Devil, acting as the Justice Devil, make a contract with this fake Chainsaw Man, running around parading like a hero, when Death probably has some other shit it needs to do? Anyway, since you're a devil, you probably don't know how people choose to live in this world. I'll tell you why, because the world's full of hope. Chainsaw Man came from hell to protect mankind's hopes, to drag beings like you back to hell. But just and righteous thoughts mean nothing to you, do they, Death Devil? Bro, and this is what I said. Fami has the Gohan, I'm about to turn into Super Saiyan 2 moment. Gets so fucking pissed from what the fake Chainsaw Man is saying, and is like, okay, I'm going to resurrect myself, kill these ants, I absorb their lifespans, I absorb life. She who saves people from suffering via death, I am one of the four horsemen, pleased to make your acquaintance. And when we thought, I'm Death, no, my name is Fami. Fucking wild. Yes, I know all your moves. And then fake Chainsaw Man says, wait, time out. You aren't the Death Devil? And then she says, the Death Devil is my, and that's when she was going to say older sister. And what a wild fucking twist. One, we get Chef Mommy again. I love Chef Mommy. Let's go ahead and just show off Chef Mommy right here. Okay. We got Chef Mommy in the house. She says, may I take your order? Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we talk about this, just real quickly on the fake Chainsaw Man. I just still love that he's giving this superhero persona, and that we saw him in the Falling Devil arc. We saw him also defeat Yuko, too. When Chainsaw Man defeated Yuko so Yoru defeated Yuko. She transformed into the Blob, thanks to the Death Devil. Denji defeated her. Somehow got resurrected from, I think they said, it was like a relative who like helped revive her or something. I don't know. And then the fake Chainsaw Man killed Yuko once and for all. Then we see the fake Chainsaw Man help out Denji and Asa in the Falling Devil arc. And now we see everything he's saying, even if it's this superhero jargon of like, hey, I'm going to save people because I made a deal with the Justice Devil, and I'm going to stop villains like you, seemingly the Death Devil, from, causing destruction. But he even goes on a limb here and say, like, the world is full of hope. Chainsaw Man came from hell to protect mankind's hell and drag people like you back to hell. Now, I would be really sad if this is the end of Fami and the fake Chainsaw Man if they get consumed by someone in this like dish. Because I think the fake Chainsaw Man had just been such a fantastic thing a lot of us have been yearning for, and now that we've seen him and he's done some stuff, I just hope we get a reveal here. And it's still, I love being teased that like, okay, it seems like fake Chainsaw Man is really out there on the side of good, at least for now. That's kind of what we're getting at, and that's what Fujimoto wants us to believe. Fake Chainsaw Man, just like the rest of the other people in the Chainsaw Man church, could be fucking crazy. They could betray Denji on a whim, right? In the like a Thanos snap, right? But for now, he's on the side of good. Who is the fake Chainsaw Man? I love that we're still being teased this question. Is it the amalgamation of the fear that was accumulated from Chainsaw Man and Denji being a thing, that like this is the like the fear of the chainsaw, right? Or of the fear of Chainsaw Man via Denji? Or is this like someone contracted, right? Like I made a contract with the Justice Devil. A devil making another contract with, you know, its brethren, right? So I like that. Anyway, Death here says chef's choice. Grabs Fami and fake Chainsaw Man, puts them in this dish. Again, a nerfed falling devil. Keep in mind. You're the Death Devil. I'm sorry, Fami. I used your name. Big sis, if you still feel anything for mankind, then please die right away. And then, of course, you know, we see her in this shot. I swear I'm going to get demonetized, so I'm not going to show it off too much. But it says, I dispose all of... Okay, here we go. I dispose all of my organs, but I still couldn't die. I mean, I just love how this chapter ended, right? So, what the hell does this mean? It's just a lot to sit on, and, you know, we have to reread Chainsaw Man Part 2 for sure. But it's great seeing falling. And we know that falling caused gravitational shifts in the world permanently with the short tenure she was in this verse. Or you know, when she was summoned on planet Earth. So, yeah, it seems like Fami got some crazy shit schemed. Or Fami, sorry, Death got some crazy stuff schemed. But to what extent, who the hell knows? Let's see. The real Aquino says, if you had to describe each of the horsemen based on any football club, not NFL, which would they be? I mean, I have no idea, dude. I genuinely have no idea. I have no idea. I don't think Fami can die in a plate. Yeah, that's the thing, too. I mean, but I wouldn't put it past Fujimoto if Fami died right here. Right? Like, there's a part of me, like someone was asking earlier, is bringing up the power plot line with the contract with Denji too much in this final arc? What if we get this horseman, right, Fami, and she's sacrificed right here, and her powers are now consumed by death, and she controls Fami this way, right? This person was the red herring all along. Death was with us all along. I don't know how the community would react if this person just went away after we got her. But there's a part of me that's, I would be okay with it too. I don't know. I don't know if that's a bit of a hot take. I'm the new transfer student. I'm here to save you guys. I mean, we got the eyes. That's Fami. Fami, or Death said, Fami, I used your identity. My bad. What if Fami dies right here? I mean, that's kind of crazy. But what if it's used to service the plot in a grander scheme? I don't know, man. Well, even though falling is nerfed, she's still called global destruction, so I can only imagine what she's capable of at full power. Yeah. A chef, no diff, the famine devil is crazy. Oh my god, I didn't even think about it like that, Tiberius. A nerfed primal fear diffed a horseman just like that. That is kind of wild. Fam might be the key to setting off the host. Yeah. Very well could be. I don't see why Death would let her walk away. Yeah. Ironic that a chef is serving Fami as food. Wow. Yes, I love all this stuff. The real Fami isn't going to die here. I'm not saying I want her to die, right? the way this chapter ends, I mean, look, we're either going to get a pivot from a POV for Denji and Yoru, or we're going to get, I don't know, some WWE type of interference and someone comes, right? Like, I thought all along that Fami, who we thought was Fami, was going to interfere in this fight with Fake Chainsaw Man and Death. But no, not only did that battle play out, we found out that Death was Fami, or Fami was really Death all along, and who we thought was Death was Fami. So, yeah, what the hell's going to happen here? I mean, these guys are on a silver platter. Like, I don't know. What the fuck is going to happen? I don't know. Good question. I could totally see Fujimoto teasing us, and we get a pivot next chapter, and we go back to Asa and Denji. Or hell, even public safety. Or even public safety. Someone brought it up. Now that we got this reveal, what if the next mic drop is by the end of chapter 129, we get just an entire chapter or half a chapter dedicated on public safety and what the fuck they're doing. And then Kishibe comes out of nowhere like, God damn it, I can't trust you guys while I'm on fucking vacation. A lot of people would lose their shit. I would lose my fucking shit too. Kishibe coming back in 199. Is Kishibe coming back in 199? I don't know. Lulu. She is here for 3 chapters, and it's the third horseman. Yep. All right. Good night, guys. Good night, guys. Wish me luck because I have a math test tomorrow. This live stream is really cool. Good luck on your test. Take care. Maybe Barum is the fire devil. No. I mean, we already saw that it's a, flamethrower hybrid. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think so. She's weakened by humanity's lack of global famine. Kishibe and Quan Chi were on vacation. Well, Quan Chi was in the prison facility. Would you say their order of appearance is out of order to the Last Judgment? It was first comes control, then war, then famine, then lastly death. I mean, what is this Google image showing us here? I think this is just here to fuck with us. I think that's what makes the twist even more brilliant, wouldn't you say? Like, yeah, we had control, then we had war, then we had famine, and then we had death. But death acting as Fami was a nice thing because Fujimoto knows that we're smart people. So him deceiving us up until this moment, I think is pretty brilliant, Death summoned Gilly back in the prison break arc. She said her pawns aren't as powerful, so that implies Falling isn't at full strength because she's a pawn as well. I think Nayuta was the only one who knew Fami's true identity. She's the only one who doesn't call her Fami, just sister, which makes more sense why she got killed off if that's the case. Well, I mean, she just died in the riots, unfortunately, but yeah, I mean, that's the image I showed off in my review, right? Like, it's so interesting now that, when Fami said something stinks here, we all thought that like, oh, it stinks because a primal fear is here, right? Like primal fears, like, yeah, that stench is maybe too much because like they're like scary. But like now when Fami says something reeks of death, I mean, bro. Like, she kind of knew, but she didn't know, right? Like, that's wild. Let me go ahead and find the panel in the review. Here we go. I smell something nasty. This was like her in the beginning of the Falling Devil arc. Oh, you guys can't see. Sorry. I smell something nasty. Like, I think she says it like it reeks of death too. I don't know. Actually, let's just go back to chapter, 123? 122. Maybe it was chapter 123. $121? 121. Let's go back to chapter 121. Here we go. I smell something nasty. It's the nastiest devil scent I've ever smelled. Go Chainsaw Man. Okay, no, so she doesn't outright say death. But I mean, I love that. Like, okay, she definitely smelled something off, and we just thought it's a primal fear. And to be fair, it could still be she smelled the primal fear. But she also didn't meet death up until this point. I smell something nasty. It's the nastiest devil smell I ever smelled. It could also be like, holy shit, like death is here, right? And she's just now sensing death. So, yeah. I love how no one bothered questioning the fact that Fami casually had horsemen and primal level subordinates. Yeah. Touche. Let me see. If you check back from part 1, when Makima mentions the 4 horsemen, you can see that she mentioned each horseman in the correct order. Yeah, I mean, I have that panel everywhere, but yeah, good observation. If you check back from part 1, when Makima okay, I already read that. Nayuta referred death as Fami when they met Baron, when all Chainsaw Man church followers turned into Fakesaws. Ooh, what chapter was that, Robin? The Death Devil may offer to bring back Nayuta to switch sides. Could very well be. Nayuta will be back. Copium. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we already discussed that. I think she could come back too. How will they correlate if she ain't the famine devil and it's actually death? Then how does she control them? Yeah, that's the thing we don't know. I mean, now, like, the rules on how Fami controls, right? Like, what if death says, you know, the way that she controlled devils would just, she just knows how her sister, Fami, controls devil, and death has her own set of powers, right? Could be that too. Maybe it's the falling devil that stinks from all the cooking. Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, that could be another reference too. So, why did Fami give the whole I am she who saves people from suffering via death such a weird line for famine? Because I think that's how, like, Fami's powers work, right? Like, yeah. That, like, grand little introduction, it's like, okay. She absorbs and sucks the life essence out of you. That makes sense with Fami. It could also make sense with death. You know, we all got bamboozled. I'm telling you guys now, heed my words. What do you guys say, Prince? Fujimoto never goes in depth when it comes to explaining the powers of a devil. Yeah, I know. And I think that's what a lot of us, like, are yearning for. So we'll see how much it goes to that. Prince Rollins says is going to age her up with the aging devil's powers. A lot, yeah. Yeah, I can. Some people have been saying that and utilize her to become the Makima 2.0 she needs. Yeah. That is a very interesting thing. I actually like that theory a lot too. That death will bring back Nayuta, resurrect her, I don't know, somehow put her in the world of aging, ages her up, and then she, like, gets her out. I don't know. We don't know where that's going to go, but that being a thing definitely sounds like a thing to me. So, death's power to turn devils into figures might be a reference to animism, when dead ancestors are represented as carved figurines to serve as spirit guardians. Oh, I like that. Robin says it was chapter 146. Okay, let me quickly just go to that. Chapter 146. Let me see. Okay. So we are going to find out that Nayuta referred to Fami as death. He could turn into pawns, yada, yada, yada. The Fire Devil has another power. The more contractors, the stronger their power, although most of them lose control of themselves. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Fami and I, we can tell because we're sisters. The Great King of Terror is probably coming for real. We know it because she's our eldest sister. The Death Devil, the super duper strongest devil with the name feared most of all. I see now. I know what Fami's trying to do. Her plan is to kill the Death Devil. She's going to make everyone terrified of Chainsaw Man and war to get them. Yeah, see, Prince, was it Prince Robin? But I don't think that really said anything. Nayuta referred death as Fami when they met Barum, when all the Chainsaw Man followers turned. I mean, that's not how I'm reading it. Nayuta referred death as Fami. No, I mean that's not how I'm reading it. So Barum says, in half a year, the great king of terror will descend. Fami and I mean, hell, Barum maybe even thinks Fami was death all along too. I mean, you can't just reveal that you're the Death Devil and someone not spill the beans. So Barum probably thinks Fami is Fami. And then Nayuta says, Fami and I, we can tell we're sisters. The great king of terror is probably coming for real. We know it because she's our eldest sister. So, I mean, Nayuta has some memory that, like, Death is the eldest and that Fami, right? Like, no, I mean, she's, to me, I'm looking at this like her and everyone we thought, and Fami, who's, let's pretend, fake Fami is Fami. The eldest sister, Death, is going to be super duper, the most feared devil, blah, blah, blah. I see now. I know what Fami's trying to do. Her plan is to kill the Death Devil. Yes, like we know Fami, the Fami that was revealed definitely wants to kill Death, right? Like you have to die, sis, because like you're fucking crazy. I don't know. Nayuta knows this, but I don't think there's anything like I don't think Nayuta is catching on here that Fami was Death all along. That's not how I'm reading this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Tell me how you guys are reading this. I'm interpreting this as Nayuta is assuming the Fami that we thought was Fami all along was Fami. We're sisters. The great king of terror is coming. I know because it's our eldest sister. I mean, like, so Nayuta knows Death is the eldest sister, but I don't think she knew that Fami was Death from what I'm gathering here. I know what Fami's trying to do. Her plan to kill the Death Devil, right? Like, I don't know. I just don't see anything beyond that. She's going to make everyone terrified of Chainsaw Man and war to make them both super duper strong, right? I guess she excluded Yoru out of her sister's statement because she wasn't present. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I hate the fact that the people that killed Nayuta in the riot aren't confirmed to be dead as well. I mean, I think they're just like random Joe Schmoes, right? Like, they're just all fake, you know. They're just weirdos, right? Like, I don't think there was any significance to them. Nayuta would just really put in a bad situation, you know. Stefan says, I have a theory that Power is one of the sisters. I noticed that she's one of the only characters introduced that has the same similar eyes as all the sisters so far. Look, my thing is, never say never, but we met all four sisters. We know all four sisters, so I don't know why you would think that Power would be one of the sisters. I don't know. My headcanon is they died during the Yoru versus Aging Devil. Maybe Nayuta was fooled as well. An unreliable narrator sort of thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Nayuta, like, just doesn't know the situation. I think she knows what we all thought we knew Fami was, right? Like, I know my eldest sister is Death, and Death is going to make, you know, Chainsaw Man and War very strong. I mean, technically, yes. Now that we know Fami's Death, and this is the end of the, oh, not the end of the Chainsaw Man Church arc, but like, because of this contract, Death and Chainsaw became stronger. There's an ulterior motive for this, even though Death wants to stop the age of extinction with Yoru, right? Like someone said earlier, maybe Death needed Chainsaw and War to be stronger. So Death was always looming over us. We just didn't know it. I thought, what if Death brings all the animals back? Yeah. So let me close that before I get a copyright strike. God, I'm so scared I'm going to get a copyright strike. But yeah. So Yoru said she can potentially beat Death Devil, and even Death agreed. So, all right, guys. I think that is everything I have to say. Crazy, crazy chapter. Fantastic live stream. If you want to get some Death Devil emotes along with Don, the Future Devil, Power, Aki, it's only 99 cents. And again, if you want to own a piece of the Chainsaw Man versus Yoru playmat or desk pad, use Fumiko for 48% off. As we see right here. Let me go ahead and display it. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. I love it. I love it. My thumbnail artist made it. Use Fumiko for 48% off at checkout. Guys, we will be back next week. Can't wait to hear your thoughts in the videos. So comment down below for that. And then we will make another explained video catching up to the latest events because it's been a while since, we talked about Yoru and the Black Chainsaw Man in my explained video series. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a good week, and we'll be back soon. Take care, guys.